Hi there, this is Ranjit from tech2buzz.com and welcome to the 11th Q&A session. Again, we have a variety of questions, I would say, and some of them are a little bit tricky that I don't have a straight answer, but I'll try to answer them. And before I start the Q&A session, I just want to tell you all you guys that currently I'm using the Galaxy Nexus Android phone. I have sold my the Galaxy Note phone, and this Galaxy Nexus is my current phone because every other day I get about 2 or 3 emails asking me which is the smartphone that I use, and I'm going to talk about why I sold my Note and went for this Galaxy Nexus even though the S3 has been announced. I'll talk about that in a later video, but first let us get away with this Q&A session. And the first question comes from Malcolm, and he asks us, hello sir, I'm planning to buy a smartphone around the rupees 15,000 mark, that's about $300. I have shortlisted the Nokia Lumia 710, the Samsung Galaxy Ace, the Ace Plus. Which one do you recommend? I've heard that the mid-range Android phones don't perform very well after a couple of months of usage. If possible, can you do a comparison video of Android 2.3 and Windows Phone 7.5? The thing is that between the Nokia Lumia 710, that's a Windows mobile phone. So first decide which platform do you want to stick to. You want to stick to Windows Phone, then go for the Lumia. It's a nice phone. The build quality is very good. But if you want to go with Android, then it's the Galaxy Ace and the Ace Plus. I would definitely suggest the Ace Plus because it's a much better phone. But again, I would say that just before making this video, I've got an announcement that Sony has launched the Xperia U, and that is going to be priced approximately about 16,000 or 16,500. So also have a look at that phone. That phone looks pretty good. Again, I would say that if you are in a lot of apps, then I would seriously not encourage you to go with Windows Phone because the quality and the selection of apps that we have right now is very limited with Windows Phone. I could not find many popular apps that I regularly use on the Android platform with Windows Phone. So that is one big con that I have with the Windows Phone platform as of now. I hope this info helps. Ranjit, why Vimeo has been blocked by DOT? While the block on torrent sites are understandable, I am intrigued by the blocking of Vimeo. Since it's just like a video sharing site, quite similar to YouTube, I can access them on BSNL but not on Reliance Broadband. And are they Reliance trying to stop this? It's from Z Kosh. And to be frank, I have no idea about this issue. I tried it on my broadband connection, that's a Beam broadband, and I'm able to open Vimeo without any issues. So I have frankly no idea if Reliance is blocking the same, why is it doing so? So if any of you guys are using Reliance broadband, please check that and post your feedback in the comment section below. Next question comes from Sanket, and he asks us, hi Ranjit, keep on with the great videos, thanks. I'm planning to buy a new laptop. Please tell me about the new types of model names of the new Ivy Bridge Intel processors. Do they have the same naming like the former ones, i3, i5, i7? And what would be the price range? Again, Sanket, as you might have known that I do not generally review laptops because there are tons and tons of laptops out there. And yes, again, the Ivy Bridge laptops will come out with the i3, i5 and the i7, but currently as of now, only the i5 and the i7 variants have been launched. Again, Sanket, yes, the naming convention will be the i3 for the lower range, i5 for the mid range, and i7 for the higher range. But for the processor model, these new Ivy Bridge parts will start with 3, for example 3600 M or something like that. If the model number starts with the 2 prefix, then it's the older Sandy Bridge processor. I hope this info helps. Again, regarding the pricing, Intel is not going to price it significantly higher, but I expect these manufacturers to initially sell these Ivy Bridge laptops at a premium of about 5 to 8%. The next question is from GV Ganesh, and he asks us, hi, I love watching your videos. Thank you. Here's my question. I have taken a SATA 5900 RPM hard drive from a 2TB GoFlex drive and attached it to my CPU as an internal boot drive. Wanted to know how to install the OS. I think Ganesh, you meant that you attached it to your motherboard via SATA port. Again, I don't understand what problem you're having. Your computer should see this drive as a normal hard drive, so you can just format it and install the OS you like on the same. And the next part of the question is, he's using a motherboard DP67BG and the processor is Core i5 2500K, and he wanted to know what is the best method of overclocking and recommended settings involved? Again, Ganesh, it is very difficult for me to explain in depth how to overclock. It's a broad subject, but as you're using a P67 chipset, that motherboard supports overclocking. So just go inside the BIOS of your computer and check for the multiplier and increase the multiplier. Again, I would say that do not go overboard, just increase the multiplier by 1 or 2 and check the stability of the system. Again, I do not know if your motherboard model supports the voltage manipulation. You can also do the voltage manipulation, but the easiest way is to just play around with the multiplier. And the next part of his question is, why the hell Seagate cheats people by selling GoFlex drive with such low rotation speed, that's 5900 RPM in his case, and they are advertising it capable of USB 3. Do note that most of these portable hard drives will not come with the standard 7200 RPM hard drives that you find in your normal computers. Generally, they are of the variant 5400 RPM or 5900 RPM. And do note that even with this RPM, USB 3 external drive can get a speed of about 50 Mbps compared to a normal USB 2 drive that can get about 25 to 28 MB per second. So in fact, Seagate is not cheating. So I hope that answers your question. And the next question comes from Latish, and he asks, hi Ranjit, thanks for the great video. Thank you. I'm planning to buy a system with Phenom 2X4955 processor with 890X motherboard from Asus, and I have come across with the FX processor. Question is, should I go for the FX processor or a Phenom processor? He continues, I do a lot of gaming, video and stuff. I would not be doing overclocking. Also, is the 896GX motherboard good, or is there anything better for the price? As you have mentioned that you will be using this for gaming. If it was just for gaming, you could have just gone with the Phenom processor. But as you mentioned that you will be also doing a lot of work with video, for that I seriously suggest that you go with the FX processor, because the 8-core Bulldozer processor can be a lot helpful for doing video stuff. Again, regarding the motherboard, I have not been personally building AMD systems for the last couple of years, so I'm not well versed with this motherboard model. So if any of you guys are using a FX processor with a particular motherboard model, please share your info in the comment section below. It will be highly appreciated. And the next question comes from Maximus, and he asks us, will I be able to use a 32 HD TV as a monitor for a new PC I'm building? I would be using a GTX 560 graphic card which has a DVI port. So can I use a DVI to HDMI cable? Yes, you do get a DVI to HDMI cable and adapter, so you can do that. And he continues, also as HDMI supports audio plus video, but if I use a dedicated GPU, it will only send a video signal, right? Again, yeah, the modern GPUs can also send audio signal, but in your case, as you're going to use a DVI port, it will only transfer the video signals. So to get an audio, you need to connect a cable from your sound card to the AV port of your television. I hope this info helps. The next question comes from Shafi Shihar, and he asks us, hi Ranjit, I want to play 3D games on a TV connected to my PC, which is a good 32 to 55 inch 3D LED TV, 120 or 240 Hz for FPS gaming. Great warranty. My budget is about ₹70,000. And the thing is that for gaming, I would suggest that you go with the 120 Hz television. Again, I'm not well versed with the current pricing of 3D LED TVs, but I think so you should be able to get a 46 inch size or something like that. And for LED based TVs, I would seriously suggest that you check out the Samsung series of smart TVs. They are pretty good. But if on the other hand you want to go with the plasma, go and check out Panasonic models. The next question comes from Maximus, and he asks us, hey Ranjit, great videos. Thank you again. I was planning to build a system and was planning to slap in a SSD. I would be using the latest Z77 chipset motherboard, which obviously supports the 6 gigabit interface. I want to ask you, which SSD brand should I go for? Also, you recently did a review of Kingston HyperX SSD, that's the 120 GB model, and I wanted to buy that. Could you please tell me the price of this SSD? It's not available on Flipkart. I don't know if it's available on Flipkart or not, but there are two variants of Kingston HyperX SSD. The one that I'm using is a little bit expensive. It came with the kit, and that was approximately about Currently it sells for about 13,000. There's one more new model that Kingston has launched, and that's the HyperX 3K, and that's a little bit cheaper. I think so that you can get it for about 10 or 11,000. Exactly, I don't know the prices, so you need to check up with Kingston. But if you are finding a problem locating that Kingston SSD, just shoot me an email. I know some Kingston reps and they can guide you where to get the same. And the next question is from Bhanu Pratap, and he asks us, hey Ranjit, I want to build a PC. Please tell me whether to go for Intel Core i2330M and Radeon HD 7450M, or should I go with the Core i5 2430M and Intel HD Graphics 3000? Bhanu Pratap, I'm really confused because you told that you want to build a PC, but the processor and the graphic card that you have mentioned are for laptops. It is not for desktop computers. So first figure out what you need to do. If you're building a desktop computer, I would not suggest you to go with mobile CPU parts. In general, i3 is more than enough for normal users. If you're doing normal activities, just like say you write Word documents, work a little bit of Excel stuff, do web browsing and Facebook, all these tasks will be more than enough for i3. But if you do a little bit of heavy tasks in media related, for example, you work a little bit with audio and do a little bit of video encoding or stuff, then I would suggest that you move to a i5 processor. Again, dedicated GPU will be helpful if you are going to do a lot of gaming on your laptop. If you're not going to do any gaming, then the Intel HD 3000 will be more than enough. The next question comes from Musaddiq, and he asks us, hi Ranjit, love your videos, thank you. I wanted to know how can one set up VIP phone at home. Can you tell its advantages and can I use it as my home phone? I am a heavy user. I haven't recently worked a lot with the VoIP phones, but certainly you can set up VoIP phones, and you have certain providers that can give you a local number in a certain region. For example, this is about 2 years ago. I had one client in US and I had to do a lot of work with that. So I took a local US number using a VoIP service. So you can look into something like that. And the next part of the question is about NAS. Synology NAS is way out of my budget. I shortlisted the Western Digital, MyBook Live and Seagate Go Flex Home. Both cost about rupees 8,000 to rupees 9,000. That's around $180. I want it basically as an extension to my iPad memory, and both have iPad apps which let me access all video and music files. Can you recommend which is the better? Again, I haven't used any of these two products personally, but as you have mentioned that basically you want to extend the capacity of your iPad, have a serious look at this Kingston Wi-Fi drive. What this is a portable hard drive, and you get it in various capacities, if I'm not wrong, 16 or 32 GB, and it is wireless. So you can carry your storage around and it can communicate with your iPad. I hope this info helps. And the next question comes from J. Raj. Sometimes my PC hangs on boot while loading Windows XP screen. Then I have to remove the RAM and rub it with an eraser. What is the problem and what is the solution? Again, to be very frank, J. Raj, I have never heard a solution that you take out a RAM and rub it with a rubber. Again, as you said, you were using a Windows XP machine. That means this is a really old machine. So just take out your RAM and check if dirt or etc. is there in your memory slots, because if that is there, that can cause this problem. But rubbing with this rubber, this is the first time I have actually heard something like this. Next question is from Devaxed, and he asked us, I bought an iPad and I like the simplicity and ease of use. Second, I'm planning to buy a laptop for around rupees 45,000. That's approximately about $900. I need a fast processor, i5 or higher, a decent graphic card, and around 500 GB of storage, plus the usual Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, etc. I've shortlisted Acer Timeline and the Lenovo IdeaPad. I'm a bit confused which one to go with the same. If you have any other laptop in your mind, please suggest. Again, as I have told n number of times, I do not review laptops, so suggesting a specific brand or a model is very difficult for me. I have personally used Acer laptops long back, and they are pretty good, and I heard good things about the Acer Timeline series. Also, these Lenovo ThinkPads are very good laptops, and if you notice, in most of the corporate environments, you'll find Lenovo laptops. They are generally tough notebooks. So I would suggest that if any of you guys are already using an Acer laptop, Please share your experience in the comment section below. What is Android routing and custom ROMs? Since I am purchasing a Galaxy Ace Plus, I want to know if this is of any use to me or not. Also, will this phone get the ICS update? I have talked in depth regarding this routing and custom ROM, so you can check out this video for more info regarding that. Regarding Galaxy Ace Plus getting the ICS update, I do not think so. The Galaxy Ace Plus or even the Galaxy Ace is going to get the ICS update officially by Samsung. So I hope this answers your questions. And the next question is a very interesting one, and it comes from Akshit Cool, and it goes something like this: @Geekyranjit, is there anything that I can use to control my Android phone from a PC via internet, such as TeamViewer? Thanks in advance, your videos are great. Yes, actually you can do something like that. I personally did not try this, but for doing this you can use basically a VNC server. And for Android phones, you have a Droid VNC server. You can load that on your Android phone, and again you can load a VNC client on your PC, and that way you can control your Android phone from your PC. The next question comes from Money Water. He asks us, is there any Android app available to find my Neo V phone if I accidentally lose it? Please recommend both apps that use internet and also apps that don't use the internet to locate the phone. Yes, actually we have a couple of apps that can do this. I actually reviewed this app that is known as Avast Mobile Security that can do both of these things. So I suggest that you look at that app, and it is completely free and it works great. And the next question comes from Pranay, and he asks, looking to set up a small home theater system with a woofer and 2 satellite speakers for my living room. It's 130 square feet. I have a PS3 that I need to hook up with the system other than a LED TV. Can you suggest a good combination? Also, is an amplifier necessary? Again, you haven't specified your budget. So I would strongly suggest that, as you have multiple devices right now, to invest in a good AVR system that will also have an amplifier, and all these modern AVR systems will have multiple HDMI inputs so that you can attach multiple devices like PS3, even PCs or other satellite TV, etc., and a single HDMI port out will go to your TV, so all devices can be easily controlled. I strongly suggest that you have a look at AVRs, and for a tight budget of around 25,000-26,000, I suggest this Onkyo 3400 series home theater system. It's pretty nice. And the next question comes from Mr. Suryakiran, and he asks us, I want to buy a budget home theater system. I watch a lot of HD movies and play games. I want to connect the home theater to a PC. Which brand do you suggest? Budget is rupees 15,000. Again, Mr. Suryakiran, I would suggest that for this 15K for a home theater is a very low budget, and you need to look at home theater in a box. Again, I cannot suggest the brands, etc., because I personally don't know any good home theater for this price, but I believe there are some models from Philips and even one model from Sony. Again, when you're buying a home theater, just make sure that it has HDMI inputs. You need to take that out into account, and also the kind of inputs. I suggest that it should have multiple coax input and also optical in. Again, you need to make sure that the home theater system that you buy can decode modern digital sounds like Dolby Digital, DTS. This is the minimum. Higher range home theaters will decode all kinds of files like master DTH, true DTS, etc. Again, I have no specifics for this 15,000K. If you can up your budget seriously, I would suggest that look at this Onkyo entry-level home theater, that is 3300, 3400 series. It's an excellent home theater, and I believe that you should just not run and just buy a home theater system, because you will have this for a long time. So just be careful while investing your money, and if it is just going a little bit over your budget, I would suggest that wait for a while and buy a decent home theater system. The next question comes from Krishna, and he says, hi Ranjit, your videos are good, thank you. My question is, please suggest a good Wi-Fi router. I have a PC, laptop and a Wi-Fi enabled mobile. Thanks. Krishna, again, you haven't specified what kind of budget you have, because Wi-Fi routers can come from a low of $30 to all the way to $200. So if you are on a very tight budget, for around $23. That's about 1200 rupees. I have reviewed this TP-Link router, that's an N150 router, and it was an excellent router. You can look at that. And let's say you have a higher budget of, let's say, around 4,000 bucks. Have a look at this again, TP-Link router. This is a gigabit router. So if you have multiple computers connect via wired Ethernet, the gigabit router will help. Check this TP-Link model. Again, if your budget is not limited and you want the best, you can have a look at this Asus RTN56U. This is a dual band router and it's an excellent router. This is priced approximately around 8,000 rupees. And the last question is from Sachin, and he asks us, I want to buy a budget gaming PC. I have something in my mind. I need your suggestion for GPU. Please tell me the best GPU in rupees 4,000 to 5,000 range. And my CPU is G620 and my motherboard is a Gigabyte H61. The thing is that for just around rupees 4,000 or 5,000, if we go with NVIDIA, I would suggest that a minimum of 540 GT, but I doubt you can get it for just around 5,000. So just look around if you can get it for 5,500. NVIDIA 540, that's a good card for a budget. Again, with ATI, you can look at 6560 or the 6670. So these were the questions for the 11th Q&A session. I'll be doing the next Q&A session next Monday. So if you have any tech related questions that you would like me to answer, please post them below in the comment section and start it with the Q&A tag so that I know that I need to include them in the next Q&A session. I hope you found this Q&A session helpful. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you in my next video.